Hi there, it's Kim again from KimmixCanada. Today I'm going to be doing one of the newer functions that come with the TM6, and that's the Sous-Vide function. I do get a lot of questions about it when we're doing the demonstration, so I thought I would just record a little piece. And so today I'm going to be making the pork tenderloin with the ginger glaze. So sous vide cooking, if you're not familiar with it, it is a slow cook in a low temperature. So it cooks in a water bath. And that allows the meat to really marinate with a lot of the herbs and spices that we're going to be doing, and also some of the echalons. So it is using some of the new accessories that you can also get with the TM6, which you can purchase separately. There is a sous vide kit. It has a blade cover. This blade cover, it just sits on top of the blade, and I'll show you how to attach that. And there's also the sous vide kit that you can purchase. And what this comes with, it comes with the pump, it comes with some bags, and it also comes with some clips to help you do the sealing. If you don't want to purchase one of these, and if you already have one of those food savers, just any type of vacuum seal type I guess appliance or contraption that you have, but the important thing is to make sure that you use food grade bags. You can't really use Ziploc, that's not recommended, so just make sure that you have the right quality bags. So I'm going to show you today how to use the latest accessories, which is the sous vide kit and the blade cover. So let's get to it. I've actually put the recipe in my weekly planner. So let's go to swipe. I'm going to go to my menu, and I'm going to go to my week, and it's just pulling up the recipe. So here we have the Sous-Vide Pork Tenderloin with the Ginger Glaze. So let's start. So first thing that we're going to be doing is we're going to be adding some brown sugar. So what we're doing first is we're making the glaze. Sorry, not the glaze, we're making the spice rub that we're going to put on the pork. So the great thing that I love about the Thermomix is that I don't need to pre-measure things. I can just do things straight out of the bag. So there's less cleanup to do afterwards, which is perfect. So I'm going to do the 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. I'm going to hit next. Add 2 teaspoons of salt. And we're not a huge salty type family, so I'm just going to do a few turns with the salt grinder. Wants some whole black peppercorns, so I've just got a pepper grinder. So rather than going out and buying, I will just put them in straight out of my pepper grinder, which is pretty convenient. Some ground ginger. Got my ground ginger here. So this is going to make, you can already smell the spices coming together, which is going to make a really, really nice rub with the pork. Some garlic powder, which I have here. Nice garlic. Oh, you can really smell the ginger and the garlic starting to come together, which is nice. Next, some ground cinnamon. So this is half a teaspoon. So we'll do my half. And hit next. Some red chili flakes. Now, I have a 6-year-old son, and he's going to be eating this, so I'm not going to put in the chili. So it's all up to personal preference. And some ground cloves. So it's a 1/4 teaspoon. Put that in. Hit next. So now we're just going to mill up all these spices and make a really nice rub. Put my lid on, hit next, 10 seconds at speed 10. need to put the spice rub, and I'll show you how this looks. So here is, oh, I can really smell the cloves and the ginger in there. So there, it's milled that up. So if you remember, I put in those peppercorns and everything. So that's completely, I'll bring it over here. There we go. There you can see my spice mixture. We'll put it out in the pork in a minute. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a jump on the next step. So now it wants me to put in the blade cover. So I'll show you. So this is the blade cover, and mind you, I haven't washed this, so it hasn't told me. The recipe hasn't told me to wash, so I'm not going to. And what this does is it sits right on top. You can just hear it, just like kind of snaps in. There you go. So that's how you'd use the blade cover. Just snaps on. We're going to heat up the water first. So it's asking for 65 ounces. Now this is a US recipe, so I did a lot of my prep, and what I did is I went to my settings on the Thermomix, and then there's a measurement, and I changed it to ounces. I changed it to ounces to imperial while I was doing my prep, so I knew exactly what to do. But in here, now it wouldn't matter if I was still in imperial, if I was still in metric, it would automatically just weigh everything with the ounces and that type of thing. So quite a bit of water. So 65 ounces. That's half of it. Let's get some more. A little bit more. I'm about 31 at the moment. I still need a little bit more. What's important here is to actually put the amount of water that it's asking for, because it's going to cover the pork when we're cooking it. And we're putting in the lemon juice. So I just got some freshly squeezed lemon juice. And what the lemon juice does is when you're doing anything with water at the slow temperature, you want to make sure there's something acidic in your water. So whether it's some vinegar or some lemon juice, that helps protect the blades from oxidizing. So it's really important to make sure you put some type of something that's acidic. Just need to put on the lid. So what we're going to do is we're going to warm up the water. So it's going to go at 8 minutes, 150 degrees, reverse speed. So there we go. So as that's warming up, I'm now going to assemble and put the rub on the pork. So I've got 16 ounces of pork here. It has a range 16 ounces up to 24. So I'm going to, I got some ginger in the back of my throat actually. So I'm going to put the rub on, and then we've also got some eschalots and some carrots. So I've actually got some eschalots and some carrots here. The recipe only calls for the eschalots, but I just wanted to have something a little bit extra in there. And also we're going to be adding some of some lemongrass, which I just cut up. So I'm going to be putting the rub that we just made on the pork. So I might just move this here. Put that on. Now rub that in. Flip it over. Get some more of this lovely mixture on the pork. So rub that in. Let's not leave any on the plate here. So I'm just going to rinse my hands quickly. So what's really nice is that you can smell all the beautiful flavors that are going to go into the pork, and it's just going to slowly marinate into it as it cooks. Now the thing that you get in the sous vide kit, so you get about, how many bags here? You have 10 vacuum bags. So here are the vacuum bags. So you look like a Ziploc bag, but they're vacuum bags. And then there's like a little air hole here. You can kind of prepare things in advance if you want. You can like label it, stick it in the freezer and that type of thing, and then it's ready to go if you get home from work or that type of thing. It also has these clips that help seal the bag. I was actually playing around with this before. So there you go. So if you wanted to make sure that it's sealed nice and securely, which we definitely want to since we're cooking it in water, just use that and it would make sure that it's snapped shut. There, you can hear I just opened it with a lot of force, so you know it's shut. The pump that comes with the kit, here it is, and it uses, so this, you just place it on top of the circle, and I kind of hold it with my finger, and then you just suck the air out. So that's how we're gonna get our sous vide in order. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put, let's see me here, put some of my pork, make sure it has lots of the yummy rub, into the bag. I'm gonna place some carrots, make a nice little parcel here, and some of the echallots. And I think what I'll do is I'll do two at once, just to make sure everything's kind of even and evens out. I'll put it, make sure it has lots of the rub. A lot of the spice rub here. Place it in the bag. Oops. I did what they said, make sure you don't do, which is get some of the spices in the kind of the Ziploc areas. I'm going to get some of my carrots in here, some of my echallots, some of my lemongrass into both of them. Some more. Place that to the side. And I basically just quartered these echallots. There we go. So here you can see my little baggie of goodies with the pork. Just gonna rinse my hands again. Dry them. So now I'm going to seal the bag, and then I'm going to use the pump in order to get the air out. So I'm going to use my clip. I'll show you here. Put my clip over the bag, over this. There we go. I can feel that it's nice and secure. Another important thing is don't fill the bag above this line, so it actually has a line, because that's what we're going to use. We need that kind of area clean and not obstructed, so I can suck the air out with my Thermomix pump. So here we go again. Make sure I seal the bag. Check it, yep, feels nice and secure. So that's good. And now I'm going to place, let's see if I can do it actually, holding it in the air. This will be a magic trick. So let's see. Place it over the hole. I'm going to hold it with my fingers. I'm just sucking the air out with my pump. Maybe not. Probably got to put it on a flat surface to do this. Maybe I'll just move you out a little bit. So I am have the air coming out, which is good. Grab the other one. You see here I've got my package. You just got to get the technique. Just takes a few times to practice, just to get the pump in the right position. Oh, there my water is heated up, which is good. So just, if you have a Thermomix and you're wondering why it keeps on like making all that noise, you just touch anything on the screen and it'll stop while you're trying to do something else. Another thing you can do, I don't know if you know this, but under the settings, there's actually a lot of different sounds that you can pick. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Yeah, it was hard to hold it up in the air and show you, but I will. So I'm using the pump. There you go. See how it's vacuum sealed? It's kind of sucked out all that extra air. Here's the other one. So, okay, next our water is ready. So it wants us to place the sealed bags into the mixing bowl using some kitchen tongs. It doesn't want you to burn your hands. So I will place this in. Now, place that in. I think what I've done is I've made it a little bit too long, so it's a little bit of a snug fit. But we've got to make sure that it's all submerged though. So, whoops. Whoop. That's probably what you don't want to do, is splash some water on your Thermomix, but not to fear. That's fine. The water, like when the water hit it, it actually, I hit the bookmark, it actually thought doing something. Oh, done that. Okay, so let's just make sure that it's submerged. So that would be the most important thing when you're doing sous vide, is make sure that your bags are submerged. I'm going to put the lid on and we hit next. So it's going to do 1 hour at 144 degrees on sous vide. So the only thing I really need to do is hit next, or turn the dial. And now I have an hour to do something. So I'm going to pause the video, which you won't notice the difference, and then I'll come back. Hi, so it's been 1 hour and my pork has been cooking, and now it just started doing that bell sound, which means it's done. So let's hit next. So we gotta remove the bags. Take my lid off. And you carefully remove the bags with a set of kitchen tongs. So I've got a bowl here to place. That smells divine. You can really smell the ginger. There we go. And then it's asking me to discard the water, and then we're going to make the glaze. Okay, so I've just dumped out the water. I took my blade cover out, which you can see here. So everything's still clean because it was just lemon and water essentially. So the bowl is super clean, ready to go. So I've just been drying it. We're gonna make the glaze now. So it wants, tear that. Actually, let me show you. So this is the pork after it's been cooked. So let's put this aside for a second. We're gonna make the glaze for it. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna finish it off in the broil function on the oven. So it's 4 ounces of some brown sugar. If you're like me, I have no idea what 4 ounces is. So, but my trusty Thermomix measures it for me. I want some minced ginger. So I just got some ginger here that I'm going to put in. There we go. Some cornstarch or corn flour. Need 1 tablespoon, which I forgot to get out, so we'll do that. There we go. Some water. Next, some rice vinegar. Now we didn't have any rice vinegar in the house, so I'm actually going to use an apple cider vinegar, which has lots of nice flavor to it. Go. Some soy sauce. Just 1 ounce of the soy sauce. As I was saying, it's really nice. I have no idea what that would be. I was raised in the metric system. But I don't need to know because the Thermomix weighs it for me, which is good. So now we're going to mix that up. So it wants me to, oh, it says without the measuring cup. So it wants me to take the measuring cup off. So we're going to take that off. So we're going to cook it for 5 minutes of aroma. So it's going to be steaming and getting it nice and caramelized on a speed 2. So you can see that I have a aroma and speed 2. And now it's asking me to preheat the broiler. Line a baking sheet with foil and spray with the non-stick. So here we go. Got my tray ready, and we're gonna, so what we're gonna do next is, so we're gonna get the glaze and we're gonna put the glaze on the pork. So I will place that on the tray and I'll be back in a jiffy. Okay, so the glaze is done. I can really smell the vinegar. So it is telling me to open the bags and place the contents onto the tray, which I did while I was making the glaze. So you can see here, this is my pork. I've been preheating the broil. The glaze smells divine. Show you. Might be easier to show you with the spatula. It just looks so delicious. You see that? Beautiful, beautiful glaze in here. Don't want to tilt it too much. Don't want to lose any of the delicious glaze. And then I just brush it on the pork generously. So pour some on. I'm actually going to rotate this a bit just to make sure we kind of get all the sides. So I'm going to just turn the pork over and glaze the other side as well. the ginger, the soy sauce, and the sugar, it just smells so beautiful. Very sweet smelling. Sweet with a little bit of kind of fragrant kind of ginger with it as well. I don't know if you can see this, but it's also then, as I'm glazing the pork, it's also putting that yummy glaze on the eschalots and the carrots. So we're in for quite a treat tonight for dinner. And it does say that you can save some of the glaze to serve on the side. So I might just save a little bit and put it into a nice dish. I'll do that. I'll pause and I'll do that while it's actually cooking, just to see if I need to add any more. So let me place that down. So this is my pork ready to go into the oven just for some broiling. And what it says is to put it in broil, do it for kind of 2 minutes each side until you get kind of the caramelization that you're looking for. And then once we take it out, we let it rest for 10 minutes and then we cut it up. So I'll be doing that as well. One thing I did want to make sure I tell you guys is that remember that the sous vide bags that come with your kit, they're reusable. They're actually dripping wet because as my glaze was cooking in the Thermomix, I was actually washing the bags. So these bags are reusable. You can use them up to 50 times, it says. So as long as you take care of them, they'll last quite a long time for you. And you do get 2 different sizes that come into the kit. So just wanted to point that out. So I'm going to place this in the oven. Let it go. And I've moved the rack to the top position and placing it in my oven for the broil. Okay, so I just poured the glaze out. So I have the pork in the oven. So this is kind of the remaining glaze. So I'll keep this in this cup to see if I need it. But I thought it would be a good opportunity to show you the cleaning function. So here you go. You can see the bowl after the glaze. There's a little bit at the bottom. So I'm just going to show you the cleaning function. So I'm just running tap water into my mixing bowl. So here's my water into the mixing bowl. Finish my recipe. Just have some dish liquid. I'm going to just put a drop. I'm going to put my lid on with the measuring cup. That's very important. Now, there is a pre-clean function that we can use, and I do have, I have used that in the past. What I tend to do when I'm just trying to do a quick clean, and hopefully that'll be enough, is what I do is I do 8 seconds on speed 8, and then I do 8 seconds speed 8 on reverse. So let's try that. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put the full 16, and I'm going to put the dial on first to speed 8. Then when it gets to 8 seconds, I'm going to touch the little blade that's underneath the speed, and that'll make it go in reverse. And then you'll see a little arrow that goes in the reverse function. So now it's doing the reverse. I just touch the screen to have it to make it stop chiming. You can already see the bowl is clean, but I will, there we go. I'll pour it out. Get my tea towel. There you go. I just poured it out there. There you can see there. Look how clean that is. Whoops. Extra water. So that's how easy it is to clean up after making a sous vide pork with some sticky glaze. There you go. Perfect. Same as with the lid. that had some of the spices on it. So I just wipe it with my tea towel. There we go. Nice and clean. Okay, so I've had our pork broiling in the oven, so I think it's ready. And I've turned it just a couple of times as it said in the recipe. And it smells delicious. You can really smell the caramelization. Take this out. Smells delicious. You can hear the sizzling. There we go. So I'm going to let this rest for 10 minutes, slice it up, and I'll come back to you with it on a serving platter. Okay, so hi, we're back, and I've just done the plating up. This beautiful sous vide pork with a ginger glaze, and we have some extra glaze left over that we can put on for a little bit extra. You can see the nice texture that we have here of the glaze. Oops. See that? And if you have any questions about the sous vide function or anything about Thermomix, please get in touch with me. You can find me at kimmix@gmail.com. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you next time.